Imagine living your life after 50 and feeling energized and excited about your future. Welcome to the Women in the Middle podcast, the podcast for women who are ready to figure out what they want and create the life they deserve. Here's your host and master certified life coach, Susie Rosenstein.
Hey there, today's episode is all about how to experience holidays on purpose in midlife. Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast Women in the Middle with over 1 million downloads and counting. I'm your host, Susie Rosenstein, your master certified coach and midlife transition expert, and I am so glad to be here with you again. Well, my friend, it is that time of year again. Winter holiday hoopla is coming your way. So whatever you celebrate, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Boxing Day, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, and whatever other ones there are, forgive me if I missed one that you like to have fun with. But you know what I mean. There's a lot of anticipation and stress related to much of what you like to do at this time of year. Now notice that all kinds of holidays happen around now. Some religious, some not. Some have statutory holidays associated with them, like you don't have to work or maybe the bank is closed. Some don't. Some you do in your home, some you do out of the home. Some you do with family, some you do with friends, some you do with both. Some have special foods and traditions, some don't. Some have traditions of any kind, like even going to the mall for Boxing Day, and some don't. I actually remember that was a big deal when I was a kid. To buy records. Do you remember that? Going to the record store and getting albums back in the day, super, super fun. So there's a huge wide range of thoughts and feelings and activities that go on with holidays, and I thought we should spend a few minutes together and talk about how you can be more intentional so you're happier, more fulfilled, and more relaxed. Does that sound good? I thought so. But just quick, before we dive into this topic, I want to share something exciting with you. I've mentioned it before, and I wonder if you've checked it out. It has to do with getting unstuck. So I know that in midlife, it's easy to get stuck and confused about your priorities and what the heck you really want to do with your valuable time on this planet. No small thing. You are really not alone when it comes to getting clear about what you want, what your passion is, what you want to make sure that you don't have regrets about. So I came up with something to help you. It's called the Get Unstuck Midlife Clarity Fast and Easy Masterclass. Here's the scoop. Life is too short to waste time feeling stuck in midlife. So if you don't do something about your stuck state of affairs, nobody will. Now you can do this. Take this fun online midlife masterclass and get clear about your next chapter priorities without spin, confusion, and overwhelm in less than an hour. My amazing woman in the middle, picture this. You snap your fingers. You're crystal clear about what you want, what your priorities are in life so that you can take the next best steps forward. You finally feel peaceful and confident because you know how to move forward, and you see that you have plenty of time to have more fun and meaning in your life. That's really what I'm talking about. You can grab this masterclass and get unstuck about your priorities fast and easy on your own time in the comfort of your own home and without being live on screen. Like I said, it really is fast and easy. It's way easier than you think. The introductory pricing is great. So if you're tired of feeling stuck and bored with craving more happiness and excitement in your life because you don't know what you want, run, don't walk. You've got nothing to lose and clarity to gain, my friend. Head over to www.midliferoadmap.com and download Get Unstuck, Midlife Clarity Fast and Easy, and get started. Okay, now let's dive in. The question for you to ponder is, how can you do holidays on purpose so that you can have more fun, more fulfillment, and be more relaxed? That's the question. Are you with me? As a listener of the podcast, it is no great surprise that ultimately we'll be talking about your mindset, the way you think. Your brain has a lot to do with doing holidays on purpose. So think about it. You just might be thinking about the holidays right now, especially because I brought it up. At the time of this recording, American Thanksgiving is the next big one. I think you'll agree, however, that the stress points for Thanksgiving are pretty similar to the stress points for about all of the other winter holidays because they usually revolve around food, folks, and fun, mixed in with a big heap of mindset or mind drama, whatever happens to be going on for you. It's funny. I grew up in the States, but I've lived in Canada for years, and I'm quite aware of it this time of year. This will be the 41st Thanksgiving that I haven't lived in the States, and I have to say, I miss a good old American Thanksgiving. But I don't miss the stress, the travel stress, the cooking stress, the anticipatory stress, the actual stress. And like I said, I do miss a lot about this family, football, and food-focused holiday. I miss playing saxophone in the marching band at the high school football game. That was a million years ago. I miss all of my family going back home to where I grew up. I miss the fire going in the fireplace at my mom's house. I totally miss the food, especially the mashed potatoes. My mom makes the best mashed potatoes. And of course, I miss the shopping after all the food, folks, and fun is over. Like I mentioned earlier, going to the mall. That used to be a big deal. I remember when that mall was built. I don't remember what that year was exactly, but it was a really big deal. And it was a place that I could ride my bike to. It was a bit of a far bike ride, but I could get there. And I guess it was junior high because it was like a place that I could watch boys. Like, where else are you gonna go, right? At that age, we used to go roller skating and bowling and movies and the mall. That was pretty much it. There was a Spencer's there. Very exciting with the black lights. Very, very exciting. I'd love to hear what memory this brought up for you. So if you have a chance, send me an email. Anyway, as I said, as you likely know all too well, holidays, there's a lot. Holidays can be emotional, and holidays can be full of mixed emotions for many. It's not usually like a Hallmark movie. There are so many things you miss, so many things you're sentimental about and enjoy and look forward to. And lots of things going on with the holidays are stressful, difficult, and challenging. Insert whatever the stressful things are for you. I'm sure there's something. Maybe it's relationships, the amount of work, upholding traditions, the expense of it all, too much family time, not enough family time, too much food, too much alcohol, too little sleep, too many expectations, too much impatience, just tons of pressure about food and cleaning up and traveling, all the things. It's just a lot. So many emotions. And boy, can they bubble up when everyone gets together. You know, I love the concept of regret proofing, and holidays are a great time to practice using this amazing concept. Using mindset tips to regret-proof the holidays can really help. Now let's take a step back. Do you know what regret-proofing means? Now, if you've been listening for a while, you probably do, but here's how I define regret-proofing. Making sure you don't have regrets about what you did or didn't do, say or didn't say, try or didn't try, or change or didn't change. Now, I love this term because it easily applies to so many important experiences, phases, transitions, and milestones in your life, especially at this age. You can regret-proof your career. You can regret-proof your relationships. You can regret-proof yourself. You can regret-proof your life, and you can regret-proof your holidays. The question is, do you believe me? Of course, there's traditions, reflection, family, travel, maybe vacations, festive meals. There's just when I think of holidays, you may not be thinking about it the same way because everything is unique. I mean, there are things that all of us are doing, but I don't know exactly what you're thinking. It's no surprise that there's a ton to do, a ton to schedule, cook, and plan. The list is especially long for the matriarchs. You may be holding the torch right now. Maybe it got passed to you and you're not even sure when or how that happened. But you may feel that extra responsibility that a matriarch of the family might feel about hosting, about sharing traditions, about documenting, telling certain stories. Who knows? But for sure, like I said several times already, there's so much that goes on right now. And when you want to make a warm and wonderful holiday experience for your family, you can really feel it. Of course, you probably want everything to be smooth. Who wouldn't want things to be smooth? You want the food to be delicious and you want the kids to be great, like polite, helpful, participatory, grateful, all the things. There's a high chance that there will be some glitches, of course. The key is to be more aware of your thinking and how you want to show up so you don't have regrets about the holiday experience. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that you should aim to lock everything down with a guarantee of certainty. You can't control everyone or everything, ever, as much as we all might want to. But when it comes to regret-proofing holidays, what I'm really coaching you on is the concept of regret-proofing your emotional experience during the holidays. There are definitely things you can consider thinking, feeling, and doing that will help you create the experience that you want on purpose. So here we go. Intentional mindset tip number 1. Beware of your expectations. It's common to have hopes, dreams, and expectations of the holiday season and specific holidays, right? It could be the season that you start thinking about all this stuff, or maybe there's a really, a holiday that you think is a big deal. It means a lot to you. You can set yourself up for disappointment, though, with expectations. So do you know what you want to happen and experience? Have you ever articulated it? Your thinking probably doesn't feel optional. It's just, you probably think, oh, this is just the way it is. You probably want things the way you want them. I get it. Me too. But here's the thing. Try not to expect perfection. Don't be surprised when things and situations and people aren't exactly the way you want them to be. Here's what's more likely to happen. You will probably spend more money than you anticipated. The grocery store could run out of a key ingredient for something you're making and something that you love making, and maybe even something you're known to make. Like maybe it's your thing and you get complimented for making it. And I have to say, when I am on deck for guacamole, the pressure is on to find the ripe avocados. And it can be a catastrophe in my mind. I mean, that comes up a lot for me. I've been the queen of guacamole for decades. So my friend, the turkey could be dry. What will you do? Someone could get sick between COVID, viruses, traveling. Every single time I travel, I pick something up. It is totally possible. Someone may have to cancel. Somebody else might want to bring someone extra, and that person might be a surprise to you, and it might even create a wrinkle. Your oven may break. That is a true story, and I have a feeling you probably know somebody that also happened to. Your college kids could get stuck out of town because of bad weather. So how do you go about regret-proofing when there's so much going on and potential for stuff to happen that throws you for a loop? The answer, my friend, is one thought at a time. Notice your thought or thoughts about expectations. Notice how your thought makes you feel. Ask yourself, is this thought useful? If not, consider practicing a thought that works better. To discover it, think about how you want to feel on purpose. Then come up with and practice a thought that helps you feel the way you want to feel on purpose. For example, let's say you find a stinky thought that creates stress. Here's one that I think when I host. The thought is, I can't do all the prepping, cooking, and cleaning for this big dinner and also clean up after the dinner. When I think that, I feel stressed and on edge, and I start to expect the worst, that I won't get help. Now, I have to tell you, you probably can't imagine unless you have a large dog. Nico the Noof is a big guy, and he's a mess. I love him to bits. We all love him to bits. But I always say to family members, our house isn't ready for people. We must prepare for the people. We might need to wipe something. We might need to get a piece of slobber off the wall. We might have to vacuum. We might have to mop. There are things that need to be done when the people come over. So I hope you understand. It's just that way. And if you have pets, you probably do understand. So thank you in advance for understanding. Now, I know that this kind of thinking doesn't help me. I can't do all the prepping, cooking, and cleaning for this big dinner and also clean up afterwards. That kind of thought doesn't help. Now, I don't want to feel stressed. I want to feel relaxed. So that thought doesn't help me feel relaxed. So what is a thought that I could practice focusing on and thinking that would create the feeling of relaxed on purpose? Like, what can I prep myself to think that will actually help me feel the way I want to feel? So you have to get creative when you're looking for new thoughts, and you got to try on some new thoughts. It's kind of like trying on clothes. You're not sure which outfit will look the best, but you're going to give them a try and look in the mirror. So you got to try on the thoughts. I actually close my eyes and repeat each potential thought 3 times and focus in on how I'm feeling when I'm speaking it. Okay? That's how I find a useful one. You can give that a try. You can try something else, but you want to make sure that the feeling that you want to feel, you're focusing on that, and then you're trying to figure out what thought is going to help me feel that way. So in this case, I need a thought that creates relaxed. It's funny as I was trying on thoughts for this situation, my first thought revealed that it was great, but not quite enough. The thought I came up with was, I'm learning to host gatherings like this and also enjoy my calm self. Personally, I love learning, so I don't resist this thought at all. It works. I'm learning to host gatherings like this and also enjoy my calm self. But there's the help piece too, and that's a big one. So I want to practice this thought as well. I know that all I need to do is ask my family for help, and they will help me with cleanup. Notice I needed to be specific with cleanup because I know that's where they shine. So I can ask them for that. They never let me down, but I have to ask. And then there's one more that will be good for me. I can just tell. It's going to be a lovely gathering no matter what. It's going to be a lovely gathering no matter what. So it took me a few minutes to explore my thoughts and see what I could come up with that would create that feeling. So this thought, it's going to be a lovely gathering no matter what, also helps me relax. Like I mentioned, our amazing dog and our parrot, sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes they make noise. Sometimes they plunk down right in front of the fridge or where you're trying to walk by. Sometimes they're attracted to people who aren't interested in them. So whatever happens, I want to be cool, calm, and collected in that situation too. So you got to do some exploring, but you can totally find a thought that's more useful than the one you may be thinking. Let's keep going. There's a lot of regret proofing to consider. Here's intentional mindset tip 2. Raise awareness of how you really want to feel during and after the holidays. So we just went through an example that highlighted intentional thoughts leading to intentional feelings related to your expectations. Now, this is a big deal. So I thought that your intentional holiday feelings matter so much that they deserve their own tip. So let's go to a higher level. Let's kick it up a notch and think about what feeling you want to like envelop you, like a big warm hug, or one of my favorites, like a soft alpaca blanket. So like, what is that feeling that you just want? Oh, it just feels so good. You really want it to be very present in your experience. So to do this, take a second and imagine you're saying goodbye to people or leaving your people to go home after the holiday celebration. So either your people are leaving your house or you're leaving wherever you were. Maybe you're even hopping on a plane to go back home after your vacation. So think about it. Whatever it is, you're thinking about the holidays and the people you shared them with. You might even be connecting with your partner or a sibling or a good friend, and you're talking, you're connecting. So what story and experience do you want to be sharing, and how did it make you feel? What story and experience do you want to share during the holidays, and how did it make you feel? So just play with that one idea. What happened that created the feeling you wanted to feel the most? Right? So you were successful. You created the feeling. What was it? What happened that created the feeling you wanted to feel the most? Then don't stop there. Create a plan to amplify that feeling for yourself. How can you create that feeling for yourself during the holidays? What can you think on purpose that will help you? What happens for you when you feel that way? What can you do that is fueled by feeling that way? How can you remind yourself to feel this way? Like really go deep into that experience that you want to create. And I'm talking about the emotional experience. Don't skip the emotional. So often we just focus on the tasks, but I want you to go beyond that. You want the feeling to help fuel the tasks and the things that you're doing. You know what they say, what you focus on grows. What you focus on expands. Why not focus on creating the way you want to feel during the holidays on purpose? Usually you're putting everyone else first. You're probably so good at that this might even feel awkward for you. So it's not that you're going to ignore your friends and family. It's just that you're going to elevate, increase, focus on the way you want to feel, maybe more than you want than to focus on the experience that you want to create for everyone else. Can you do that? I know it's a shakeup. Your mind might be blown, but just think about it. You matter and your feelings matter. You've been working very hard to create all of this for your family, and I want to make sure that I can just help you shift the focus a little bit and enjoy all of this stuff yourself too. Okay, here is intentional mindset tip 3. So if you can't be with your family during the holidays, what are you going to do? Well, this tip is for you. You can bring the comfort of back home to your home. You can also do this on purpose. So if you can't be with your family, experiencing the traditions you know and love that you grew up with, make sure to plan your own traditions that make you smile and bring back those memories. You don't have to wait or pine or just go without. You don't have to do that. This can really bring you down. I get it. There's something you can do when you embrace the idea that you can do something for yourself in your own space that makes it all feel good, that brings back some of that holiday charm. Of course, it won't be exactly the same, but what if you were open to the idea that you could bring a bit of the spirit, the feelings, the memories back to your home and enjoy them now? For example, like me, if you loved marching band, pull out an old recording or search for band performances online. Maybe you can't go to the football game and hear the band, but maybe there's something you can do. I started following my high school and university marching band. It's really fun to do that. I like it. Make sure to watch the holiday parades and festivities on TV too. There's usually some parades, and you can really enjoy those bands. Now, if you love your mom's mashed potatoes or whatever it is that you grew up with, call her up if you're able and talk to her about exactly what she does to make them so yummy so that you can make them yourself. If it's not your mom, maybe it's an auntie, maybe it's a host, maybe it's a grandmother. I don't know, but if you want to talk to somebody about a food that you love, do it. Do it. And if you miss a family member who's passed away, just because you're not at home with the rest of the family, it doesn't mean that you can't honor his or her memory and create your own traditions even when you're out of town. Now, I know that you know that, but you may have some ideas about going to the cemetery with other family members or telling a certain story or hearing a certain story being told. So I just want you to be mindful that you can still create these traditions in your own home. So the idea is to bring a little of home to your home. Practice thinking thoughts that help you feel the comfort of home. Perhaps something like, I can figure out new ways to enjoy the holidays that remind me of home. This is way more useful than focusing on what you're missing. So all of this is a simple strategy, but it works. So remember to have fun and feel grateful for being able to enjoy the holiday season, doing whatever makes sense for you and your family. Now, if you want more help, you can download your free 3-step guide to regret-proof your holidays and get the help that you need. Head over to www.susierosenstein.com, click the podcast tab, and look for the summary notes for episode 383. Okay, that's it for this episode. Now, as you know, this podcast is all about how to love your life again after 50. It's really all about coaching you to be more intentional and to incorporate mindfulness into your life as a regular practice. This is how you put yourself on your agenda. My focus as your midlife coach is to help you get unstuck, clear, and focused on your current values and priorities so that you don't have regrets. I can help you create the confidence, courage, and meaning you're looking for. If you're ready to take a step, you're invited to book your momentum call at www.womeninthemiddleacademy.com, and we will chat. One more thing, you're also invited to purchase my new masterclass, Get Unstuck, Midlife Clarity Fast and Easy, where you can get clear about your next chapter priorities without spin, confusion, and overwhelm in less than an hour. Head over to www.midliferoadmap.com. And finally, for show notes and links, head over to www.susierosenstein.com, click the podcast tab, and look for episode 383. You'll also see links there for the new show, Women in the Middle Entrepreneurs. Thanks so much for listening. It's time for you to put yourself first, one thought at a time. I'm Susie Rosenstein, and I'll talk to you next week.